Hello my beauty friends and welcome back to Denise Beauty Corner. So for today's video we're going to jump a little bit into my side subject that I have on this Beauty Corner channel. Usually it's mostly beauty videos, but I do also like to talk about luxury handbags. And I have been doing a lot of videos with comparing and showing you a lot of my Louis Vuitton bags and other luxury bags. But for today's video I wanted to show you my number one most used Louis Vuitton bag at the time. So it used to be my Never Full, and I think I mentioned that like 2 years ago on this channel. I think I mentioned something about my most used bag being my Louis Vuitton Never Full. And if we take throughout the entire time, I think that's still my most used Louis Vuitton bag. But if we look like the past 3 years, it's definitely another bag that is my most used Louis Vuitton bag. And when it comes to when I say most used, it's like my other bags, I use 40% of the time I'm like spreading in between those bags, and 60% of the time I'm going for this bag. And I don't know why. So the bag that I'm using the absolute most at the time is my Eva Clunch in the Daimer Azur. So I also have the Eva Clunch in the monogram. And the thing is that I'm reaching for the monogram maybe 1 out of 20 times when I'm reaching for the Eva Clunch. Most of the times I'm going for the Azur. So the thing is that it's even starting to get all dirty because I mean it's a white bag, so it's not so convenient to use it as your most used Louis Vuitton bag. But I don't know, it's been with me on so many trips. It's been to Bali, it's been to India, it's been like all over the world, and I tend to always use it because it works with dark clothes and with light clothes, and I seem to use this so much. And I like to carry it like this, but I also like to carry it as with a strap as a crossbody bag. And the thing is that for being so tiny, I can fit so much in here. Like I can have my sunglasses, my car key, my credit card holder, my wallet, poopy bags for the dogs, my keys for the apartment, and my lip balm. And that's pretty much everything that I'm carrying with me. The sunglasses sometimes I don't even carry with me, but everything fits in this bad boy. So I have to say, like, out of my bags, when I got this one, actually when I got it, I got both of them, and I got them pre-owned. So both of these ones I got pre-owned. And I was a little bit like, I didn't know if I wanted this because the one selling these bags, I bought it from the same seller. It was this one that I wanted, and I was like, this is the bag that I'm after, like the Eva Clunch in the monogram. I wanted it so bad, and then the one selling it happened to have this one in Azur as well. So I was like, the thing that I didn't like is that, as you can see, the Azur and the monogram has different plates here, and I thought at the time, I was like, this one is a little bit big, bulky and tacky. Like I don't like this one so much compared to the more sleek one in the monogram. You see the difference? Like it's pretty much thicker and bigger, and I did prefer this. So I was like, but then she had both of the bags, and I was like, I mean, they're not available still, so you cannot purchase them from Louis Vuitton. She had both of them, and she gave me a little bit of discount if I purchased both. So I decided to get both. But I didn't think ever in a million years, I didn't think that this was going to be my most used bag, because this is the weird thing. Like out of the bags that I have, like except from my Never Full, but what goes for my smaller bags, this one and my black bag that I did not have here at the moment, the black small clutch from the Wave collection that I spontaneously bought when I was in the Louis Vuitton store, when I was there with a friend that was going to buy another bag, and I was like, hey, this one looks nice, and I spontaneously bought it. For what goes for most of my other bag is like I have been eyeballing it, and I have been like the pre-owned one, I've been hunting them down. So it's kind of fun that the most used bag, because that bag I'm using mostly when I'm like, as soon as I'm wearing black, I'm always having that clutch. For everything else, I'm having this one. So it's kind of weird how the bags that I was the least excited to get is the ones that I'm using the most, because for all my other bags, it's some story behind it. Like I was hunting it, or like I have been eyeballing it, or like some, for example, my Never Full sunrise bag, I was like, on the Louis Vuitton site like crazy to get it. Like, that was like a hassle. And so out of all my bags, this was one that I was the least excited to get, and I'm using it so much. So I'm kind of surprised. Like, which one is your most used Louis Vuitton bag? I also really like I have a lot of like the favorites. Honestly, I do have two favorite as well, Louis Vuitton favorite. And I honestly use this more because the favorite have a flip top. And I have found, like, since it is a clutch, like when you're out, like you put it sometimes, and I have found that lip glosses and smaller things are like pulling out, like falling out from the side of the favorites. That's why I tend to use the one with the zipper the more, because everything stays in the bag. I also really love my Métis. I have the Métis in the reversed. But the thing is that the Métis is a little bit bigger and bulky. Like, this is more sleek and slim. It's a bummer though that I talk about this bag, because if you want it, you have to hunt it down pre-owned, because you cannot get it from the Louis Vuitton store. That was long time ago since you can get it. Like, I bought it pre-owned for, I think it's 3.5 or 4 years ago now, maybe 3.5 years ago. And I got a good price. I paid 750 euro each for them, but it's also because I bought two of them. So I got two of them for 1,500. So it was a good deal for both of them. And I mean, for the price, and for me using it so much, it was a really good deal for me. But you have to hunt them down pre-owned. So the owner, I think they are from, it's from 2010. So yeah, 2010. So it has many years. It's 15 years old bag, almost 14 years old bag. And it's still in super good condition. So this is what I like with the older Louis Vuitton bags. I have to say that I don't think it's the same with the newer Louis Vuitton bags. For what, like, my experience, and I have vintage ones that are from, like, as old as I am. I have vintage bag from the 80s, and I have newer bags, and I have like everywhere from the 80s up to like today. And I have to say that the quality on the older vintage ones, this is not vintage. I know that it has to be more than 20 years to be called vintage. But for the older bags, what goes for in the early 2000s as well, which this is 2010, I kind of think that that's more like towards the early 2000, they have better quality than the bags right now. Like, I went in when they came with the multi-pochette. I went into Louis Vuitton wanting to buy it, and I was holding it, and I was like, honestly, like, I was inside of the Louis Vuitton store, and I felt like if I would not have been inside of the Louis Vuitton store and someone would give me this, I would look at it, and from feeling it, I would think it was a fake. That's how poor the quality felt like. And I know also when that design came, they were pushing it out so much because it was so popular. So it was like boom, 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 boom. So maybe the quality on that specific bag was not as good as for other bags. But I just feel like when it comes to the smaller clutches and things, I feel like they were much more well done back in the days than now, because if now it feels like they're just pushing them out, especially the monograms one. What goes for everything that is more in like skin and leather, it's much better quality in general, but what goes for everything that is monogram and like the canvas, I feel like the older design has way much better quality than now, unfortunately, because the prices have been going up very much more than what it used to be back in the day. So that kind of doesn't make sense, but I think also Louis Vuitton wants to focus more on the more luxury high-end and not the canvas, even though the canvas are still high-end bags, but it feels like they are not putting the love there, if we say. So yeah, I didn't end up buying the multi-pochette because I didn't think it was worth it. So I only bought like the strap. So I have the strap, like the thicker, I had it in green, so I can put it on like this bag because I do prefer the Eva clutches and this type of bags more than the multi one. So this is my most used Louis Vuitton bag at the time. Kind of a boring one, to be honest, but I usually go for this size the most. I love my bigger bags, but it's as soon as I'm going to bring my computer and things, I take my bigger ones, but otherwise I do always reach for this smaller ones. So Which one is your favorite? Or like, I wouldn't necessarily say that this is my favorite Louis Vuitton, but which one is your most used one? Because that can be completely different. Your favorite and the most used one can be very different, and that's the case for me. So let me know which one is your most used Louis Vuitton bag. Maybe I'm missing out on something here, so let me know. So with that being said, my friends, we're gonna summarize today's video. I hope that you did like it. Give it a little thumbs up if you did, and yeah, I hope I'm gonna see you in my coming videos here. Let me know if you have any requests of something that you would like me to film here for my channel. And with that being said, thank you for tuning in. See you very soon. Bye.